So in this video, we're going to go over how to do the formulas again, and how to drag your formulas over so you don't have to input them individually. Kind of a step up from the first video. And we're also going to cover sums, the sums formula, and how to use that, as well as AutoSum. So what I have here is I have just a made-up business of building wood frames. And this is my supplier information. So per item, what it costs me from each individual supplier for wood, for glass, for hangers, and then the quantity that I ordered from them throughout any specific time, pick one, a month, a year. And so 500 pieces of wood for the frames for supplier one, and so on. And what I want to know is I would like to know two things. I want to know how much total I owe each individual supplier, which will go in this column here. And I also want to know what's the total that I'm spending on wood, glass, and hangers, and those will go in this row here under these specific columns. And that'll give me an idea of what I owe each supplier, as well as what I owe total per category. So we'll get to it. First thing I want to do is I'm going to pick a cell. I like to start at the top left that you want to put the formula in. This will make things a little simpler, but I'm going to do at the cost of the wood per unit times the total units that I ordered from that supplier. Now again, we're doing the equals sign to tell Excel that we're starting a formula, and then we're going to pick our first multiplier and then our second multiplier, the star key representing multiply. Press enter, and this will give me the total amount that I spent on wood from supplier one. So instead of putting that formula into each individual cell, Excel makes it very, very simple to just drag the formulas across. So the first thing I want to do, I'm just going to drag this down. I'm going to pick the little box, drag it all the way down, and that'll give me my formula in the whole column for wood. Now, instead of having to do that for glass and hangers and drag those down as well, I can very simply just highlight the cells that already have the formula in it, and I can drag them over here using the box, and this will automatically drag my formulas over. You can kind of double check that your formula is pulling from the right place. If you double click on one of the cells, it will show you the blue and the red squares are what are being calculated. So I have my supplier one cost times the number of units, and that's exactly what I want. Just a quick check there. So now for sums, what I'm going to do is put in my very simple sums formula, equals sum. I'm going to do tab just to make it shorter. Okay, now I can either, as we showed before, click each individual cell and separate by a comma. But what I would rather do, and what's a little quicker, is I would like to just highlight all the cells that I would like it to sum up for me. And so in this case, I've spent $3,560.13 from supplier one, and that's the amount that I owe supplier one. So just like with the multiplication formulas, I can click this box and I can simply drag it down, and that'll give me the total amounts for each supplier. I can do the same thing over here, equals sum, drag down, press enter, and once again I can drag this across. And what I can even do now, since I did my rows first, is I can expand this out under there, and I should be getting my total by supplier, which should actually match the total of what I've spent. So here, if we come down here and look, 14,648, that's exactly what I have here. And if I highlight here, 14,648, so I know that this is accurate. I know that I did that correctly. So for AutoSum, Excel has a feature that will let you automatically enter the sum without putting in the formula. However, I don't suggest using it. It can be really useful, but it's not always correct. So if I wanted to use the AutoSum, we'll give an example here. I would come up here to my toolbar and I would select formulas, and here's the option here for AutoSum. So I can click it, and Excel will guess what I would like to sum up. And in this case, it's right. In this case, it gave me the columns that I wanted. Sometimes though, if you have other numbers right next to it, it's going to include that. Say I didn't want to include this, maybe that was an example or listed for reference. It's going to try to include that, and maybe I don't want that. But for this purpose, it works just fine. And we can just drag it over. Okay. Same thing here, AutoSum. It's going to try to guess what I would like to sum up. Press enter. And I can drag down here as well. And again, I get my $14,648. Thanks for watching.